Good evening. I just realized I was on mute. Um, Good Awesome. So, welcome to the Stephanie Humphrey channel. Before I get started, I need to do one more thing. Let me put my eyes on so I can see what I would like to do. Here we go. Awesome. There we go. There we go. There we go. So, good evening and welcome to the Stephanie Humphrey channel and the Stephanie Humphrey podcast. As always, it is such an awesome opportunity and blessing and privilege to come into your home, your car, your office, wherever you might be at this time. And you all tonight, the Stephanie Humphrey channel and the Stephanie Humphrey podcast is hosting my nonprofit Be Well Connection for our first well education class entitled Mindful Holidays. So tonight we are going to talk about how to not eliminate, but at least decrease, potentially eliminate, but decrease holiday stress through mindfulness practices. That is what we are discussing tonight. I'm so excited that all of you are here for this class and for this discussion. I invite you to please write any questions that you have, write it in the chat, add it to the chat. Any discussions you have, maybe you have some techniques and things that you have used to support your family during the holidays. And so add it to the chat so that we can all learn and grow together. Who do I have? Kayanda, I hope I said your name right. Kayanda, good evening. Glad that you are here. Trying to clean my glasses so I can see a little bit better. So you all, I'm going to share my screen. Zoom actually has a new way to share the screen. So I'm going to share my screen so that you all can walk with me on this journey. Yes, indeed. Well, let me want to make sure that you all can see it. I hope you can. Yeah, okay, awesome. Trying to get it on slideshow and it's not doing it for me. So I'm going to stop sharing for just a moment and try this thing again. Yes, indeed. Woo, woo. So let me ask you all while I'm getting this together, how are you all doing? How are you all feeling today? How was your day? How are you doing emotionally and mentally and spiritually and socially? How are you all doing? I am doing pretty good. Add it to the chat. Let me know how you're doing this evening. I am feeling absolutely amazing. I'm doing really good. Very excited about this class because this is our first class for my nonprofit Be Well Connection. We launched out in January of this year, so I'm just so excited. We hadn't planned to host any of our well education classes until January 2026, but this came up, and so I was like, this might be a good session for us to launch into now to see how it goes and to get some feedback from the community. For some reason, I am unable to get this on slideshow, and I'm not happy about that. So give me a second and let me see if I can figure this out. I've never had a problem adding this to slideshow because I want it to be as large as absolutely possible. So let me see if I can do this a different way. Maybe, there we go. There we go. Awesome. So here we go. We are in business because, again, I want you to see this as big as absolutely possible. So I'm in business on my end, and I'm hopefully you will be getting this pretty soon on your end as well. And if you need to see it even bigger on your end, go ahead and open your screen up a little bit wider, and you'll be able to see the full screen. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so, mindful holidays, mindfulness practices to support families during the holidays. I'm excited to share this information with you tonight. So, just to let you know who I am from the perspective of my nonprofit, I am the founder and executive director of Be Well Connection. I am also a registered yoga teacher with 200 hours. I'm registered with Yoga Alliance, which is one of the most popular, if not the most popular, yoga organizations to support yoga teachers and yoga practitioners. So there are other organizations. I decided to register with Yoga Alliance that works for me. And in June of this year, I received my Master's of Education in Social Emotional Learning, Mindfulness, and Yoga. And I also received a certification in transformative teaching and leadership. You all don't know how excited I was. I have a master's of education in mindfulness, social emotional learning, and yoga. Like, that is amazing to me. It's actually my second master's. And I'm excited to have gotten the information and the learning that I needed to continue this work of supporting our community to holistically thrive. Okay, we educate, empower, and encourage our community to holistically thrive at Be Well Connection. And this additional education helps me to do so. So tonight you will learn common triggers for holiday stress, ways to manage your holiday stress, in particular through mindfulness practices. You will receive some mindfulness practices. We will actually engage in mindfulness practices during this session. You will receive some resources to support your learning in mindfulness practices. That'll be on my website. And I think I will add a few mini mindfulness lessons so that you won't have to necessarily come back to this teaching, but you can actually print out the lessons that you can incorporate with your family during the holidays. Let us go ahead and participate in our first mindfulness practice. This practice is called 3 collective breaths. So I invite you to find yourself in a comfortable seated position, or you may lie down, you may stand up, whatever position is comfortable for you. If you feel safe and comfortable to do so, I invite you to close your eyes. If you prefer not to close your eyes, you may focus on an object in the room that brings you peace. As you are settling yourselves in, I invite you to connect with your breath, noticing each inhale and each exhale. No need to change a thing, just noticing the natural rhythm of your breath. And as you're settling into this moment of connection, I invite you to take 3 collective breaths with me. And I'm actually going to count these breaths for us. So take a nice deep inhale in, 2, 3, 4, and exhale out, 2, 3, 4. Take another deep inhale in, 2, 3, 4, and exhale out, 2, 3, 4. I invite you to take one last inhale with me. So deep breath in, 2, 3, 4, and exhale out, 2, 3, 4. Now I invite you to take a moment to notice how you feel. Do you feel more relaxed? Do you feel more stressed? How do you feel? Now, if you're ready, you may gently open your eyes and refocus in the room. So I'm curious to know, how did you feel about that 3 collective breaths? How did it make you feel? Just add it to the chat. Just curious about your thoughts. Maybe you've never taken deep inhales before. So just want to know how you feel. Add it to the chat and we will keep it moving, you all. So, common triggers of holiday stress. Y'all know stress is almost, I'm going to say almost an inevitable as it relates to the holidays. There's so much happening around the holidays that we're going to talk about. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. So we're going to talk about some common triggers right now of holiday stress. Number one, finances. Finances are a big trigger of holiday stress. We often spend, or I'm not going to say often, but sometimes we spend more money than we should, more money than we need to, sometimes more money than we have during the holidays. And we forget that January is coming, February is coming, March, April, May, June, July, and the rest of them, they're coming. And bills roll around every month. At least once a month, the bills roll around, and January bills need to be paid regardless of how much money we spent over the holidays, whether it's on food, whether it's on travel. If it's Christmas, I say Christmas time, and you're getting your shopping list for yourself, your spouse, your children, finances. And so I'm not going to add a lot of statistics tonight, but it was important for me to share this particular statistic. According to, where did I get this from? Mm, Capital One. According to Capital One, we spend an average of $902 in holiday spending, or average of $902. And Capital One actually got this information from the National Retail Federation. Okay. This is 2024 data. So average of $902 just on holidays, holiday buying, like buying gifts, buying food, those types of things. If you add in travel and entertainment during the holidays, because I know some families, they go to the movies after Thanksgiving or the next day, or they go to, movies around Christmas time or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah, Los Posados, whatever your holiday celebration is. So entertainment, travel, and the spending for food and gifts will take you up to about $1,638 per consumer. For some of us, that's a house note, a car note, and a couple of bills. But that's how much we spend during the holidays. And depending on if it is within our budget or outside of our budget, it can be very stressful. Unrealistic expectations. If you have children, then your children often has a really nice, beautiful, long list of Christmas items, or I say Christmas items that they want to get. They want maybe a new cell phone, the late or the an updated version of their cell phone, a newest cell phone, a new tech device. PlayStation 5, is that even still popular now? I don't know. Maybe they want a new gaming console. They want some new video games to play. They want to travel. Believe it or not, some children ask for a trip. Like, you don't work. Why you need a trip? But they ask for a trip. Oftentimes, or teenagers, probably more than likely than the younger children, will ask for clothes and shoes, maybe a jewelry set, other toys that are popular for the 2025 season, or, for that season of the year, or for that particular year. We're in 2025 now. So they have a long list of items that they want you to buy as their parent or legal guardian. And some of it can be really unrealistic. Your spouse might even have a list of items that they would like for the holidays, which could be realistic, could be unrealistic. So there's those buying expectations, but there also could be unrealistic expectations of the family wanting you to visit. They want you to come home, and then every family member who lives in your hometown wants you to visit their home. There could be 15 family members, and all 15 family members want you to visit their home while you're home for the holidays. That's just unrealistic. Okay, just that's just an unrealistic expectation. And even if your family wants you to come home, maybe you don't want to go home that particular day because maybe you have some time constraints that we're going to talk about in a minute. So your family even wanting you to come home could be an unrealistic expectation. If maybe you're only off for Thanksgiving, you have to work the Wednesday before and the Friday after, and the only day you have off is Thanksgiving Day, which is that Thursday. Going to the time constraints, jumping ahead a little bit, time constraints could truly cause stress, especially if your family members have those unrealistic expectations of you. Okay. Again, because we want to make our family happy, but at what expense? At what expense? And so just think about that for your own family, unrealistic expectations, grief or loss. Some of us have lost a loved one during the holiday the previous year or 2 or 3 years ago or 10 or 15 years ago. And every time the holidays roll around, whether again, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, it rolls around, you remember the loss, the death of that family member, and it can cause stress in your life. You may not want to celebrate the holiday. You might be grieving because you miss your family member. You miss that time that you all spent during Thanksgiving or during Christmas. You are experiencing those feelings, like reliving those feelings all over again. And it could truly cause stress to your heart, your mind, your soul, your body. Family conflict, child, let me tell you something. Some of those family holiday movies, I'm not going to name any of them, but some of those family holiday movies where it shows siblings coming together, families coming together. You got an auntie and a cousin that don't get along. You got two sisters or a sister and a brother or two brothers that just don't get along. And when that family members come, when Uncle Joe comes to the house, Aunt Sally comes to the house, it's going to be on and popping. There's going to be some fussing, potentially some fighting, possibly some food throwing, cussing, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes our families' unresolved conflicts can cause undue stress during the holidays. Child, let me tell you, it happens. Every time the family gets together, there's some type of conflict is happening due to unforgiveness, people falling out with each other, can't be in the same room with each other. Those types of things can definitely increase during the holidays when everybody comes together to celebrate. I've mentioned already time constraints. If you're only off for the day of the holiday and your family wants you to come visit them, well, you know what? A lot of holidays, people use those as rest days. They just want to rest. They just want to relax. They want to stay at home with their own family, not have to worry about getting on the road, traveling in crowds. Won't have to worry about getting on the road. They just want to stay home. And so if you have time constraints, but your family is making unrealistic expectations, demands of you, it could cause stress because you want to make your mom happy, your dad happy, your siblings happy, your grandparents happy. But again, at what cost? Traveling in crowds. Let me tell y'all something. I do not like traveling during heavy traveling times, like early in the morning when people are going to work, late in the evening when people are getting off work. I get up like in the wee hours of the morning. If I'm going home on any day, whether it's during the week or on the weekend, I am up in the wee hours of the morning because I'm trying to get through the different roads that I have to take to get home, get there without having to navigate a lot of traffic. Okay. Because I just do not I don't like crowds in general. I can navigate crowds in a healthy way, but I don't necessarily like crowds. And that includes crowds on the highway. I just don't like a lot of traffic, bumper, we stopping every 10 seconds. And that stresses me out. So that's why I travel in the wee hours of the morning, or I travel late at night as well, just to avoid the crowds. If you're on a train, or airplane, there's crowds in the airport. Everybody has a check-in. You have to go through security, and so that can cause undue stress, especially if you're running late and you get there and you still have to go through that process of check-in, security checkpoints before you can get to your terminal. That can cause some undue stress. Delayed flights can cause undue stress, especially if you have time constraints. You're only off for a certain period of time and you're traveling by air and there are delays that could truly come. Then you might miss your connecting flight in the next city or the next state. that can truly cause some undue stress. I have never, in my decades of living on the earth, I have never flown a plane during the holidays. If I'm going somewhere, I'm driving. If I cannot drive, I will not go. I have never traveled by plane or any other mode of transportation outside of a car because it can be stressful depending on the mode that you choose and late travels and different scenarios such as that. Loneliness. There are people who are lonely during the holidays. They may not have family or friends to engage with. They may have family but don't want to be around their family because of those family conflicts. They just don't have the time for it. They just don't feel like dealing with it. So they're home and they are by themselves. They could feel lonely during that time. And that could also go back up to the grief and loss, feeling that grief for a person that you lost around the holidays, and it could cause loneliness um, to to trigger within us. And also with loneliness, if you are navigating time constraints, like you're only off for Christmas or you're only off for New Year's, you're only off for Thanksgiving Day, and you just don't have the time to travel. Time constraints, you just don't have the time to travel. So you're not able, so you love your family, but you're just not able to get to them because of the time constraints. And so that could still produce loneliness within your heart, during the holidays. There's also such a thing as a seasonal affective disorder. I never heard of this disorder until about a little over a year ago. And so I'm going to show you a slide to give you some information about that. So according to the Mayo Clinic, seasonal affective disorder is a depression that happens when seasons change. It can happen in like the winter months in addition to the summer months, okay? So seasonal affective disorder, it begins and ends about the same time each and every year. Typical symptoms start in the fall and they continue in the winter months. Okay. This seasonal affective disorder, it saps your energy, it makes you feel moody. And oftentimes those symptoms resolve during the spring and summer months. I was actually reading some other information about SAD, and it talks about how the darkness can be a factor into a person experiencing this type of disorder. And I do have some signs and symptoms here, just in case you've never heard of this and you would like more information about it. The signs and the symptoms are here. And so I'm going to read just a few of these in your hearing because my podcast is going and I want them to get the information. You could potentially feel listless, sad, or down most of the day, nearly every day. Because sometimes we just feel sad during the holidays, but if you're feeling sadness for an extended period of time, it could be due to the seasonal affective disorder. You lose interest in activities you enjoy, you're feeling low energy, you're sluggish, you're having problems sleeping, you're experiencing carbohydrate cravings, weight gain, overweight, you have difficulty focusing or concentrating, you're feeling guilty, worthless, or hopeless, or you're having thoughts of not wanting to live. Okay. Additional symptoms for this particular depression in the fall and winter. Again, symptoms are specific to winter onset, that winter depression, those winter blues, as some people have known it to be. There's oversleeping, appetite changes, again, the weight gain, tiredness, low energy. And then you can see the symptoms here for the spring and the summer months as well. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms or signs, and it's for an extended period of time, like it says, most of the day, nearly every day, please talk to your therapist or your primary care physician. If you don't have one, go to your local community health department. Talk to someone so that you can get the support and the help that you need. This disorder is a type of depression, and we want to make sure that if you are experiencing any of these symptoms or signs, that you get support. So again, talk to your physician, your doctor, your primary care physician, your therapist, or go to your local community health department to get the support that you need. And so again, this can affect or trigger holiday stress. All right. So that was a lot of information. So we are going to take a moment to engage in another mindfulness practice called weather report. So I invite you, excuse me, I invite you to find yourself in a comfortable position. Excuse me, that could be either seated or standing or lying down. And as you settle into this comfortable seated position, I invite you again to connect with your breath, noticing each inhale and each exhale, noticing how you feel in this moment. If you feel safe and comfortable to do so, you may close your eyes, or you may focus on an object in the room that brings you peace. And just settle into this moment and take a self inventory of how you feel in this moment. Mm. Are you feeling sunny or rainy or cloudy? We recognize that weather patterns put us in a certain mood. So, what is your mood at this particular time as it relates to the weather? How are you feeling in this present moment? Mm. As you settle into how you are feeling as it relates to the weather in this present moment, I invite you to join me in sealing this practice with one collective breath. So, if you feel comfortable to do so, take a deep inhale with me. Deep breath in and exhale out. Now, if you're ready, you may gently open your eyes or refocus your eyes back to the present moment. All right, y'all, tell me how you feel. Are you feeling sunny? Are you feeling rainy? Are you feeling stormy? Go ahead and add to the chat how you feel. I'm actually feeling sunny with a little bit of clouds because I'm just a slight tad bit tired. So I feel a little bit of clouds with my sunniness on tonight. So if you feel good to do so, go ahead and add it to the chat so I know how you're feeling. Or if you're listening to the rebroadcast, add it to the comment section. All right, you all, strategies to manage holiday stress. Y'all, we need to know how to navigate all of the stress that we may be experiencing as the holidays come in, okay? So, number one, for me, this may not be on your number one list as you're looking at this list. It may not be your number one, but my number one, set boundaries. Set boundaries, set boundaries. If you're not able to visit your family during the holidays, let them know. Let them know, like, look, I only have the day for Thanksgiving off. I'm going to use this time to rest. I'm going to use this time to take care of me. I'm going to use this time to hang out with a friend of mine that I haven't seen for a while. We're going to have a Friendsgiving instead of a Thanksgiving. Set boundaries for your children. If you need to set boundaries for your spouse, tell them that Stephanie said, I can set some boundaries with you. That way you won't get in trouble. They'll come for me and not for you. But just set boundaries in whatever you need to, in whatever way you need to set boundaries. Financial boundaries, which we're going to get to a holiday budget in a minute. If you need to set boundaries for the finances, for the family, do that. Even if you are a family that experiences conflict during the holidays, call your family members in advance and be like, look here, this Thanksgiving 2025, we are not going to have any fussing. And if y'all get to fussing and fighting, I'm putting you out the house. Especially if it's your house or your parents' house, I'm about to put you out of the. Have a sergeant in arms at the family holiday celebration and be like, if y'all get a fussing and fighting, you're going to have a time out outside in the cold, or it might be warm where you are. That's your boundaries. You got a 5 minute, 10 minute timeout. Yes, you can put adults in timeout. Yes, you can set them outside, timeout, or something to reduce the holiday stress for the family. Okay. Now that's your choice whether you want to do it or not. These are just suggestions. These are just strategies to support you in decreasing holiday stress. Set some boundaries. Let folks know if people are coming to your house during the holidays, tell them, if you need to tell them, if you need to set the guidelines, don't bring any extra people. You've already RSVP'd 3 people. Don't show up at my house with 4 or 5 people, because that fourth or fifth person, they might not get into the house. I didn't make food for them. Y'all need to go figure it out. If you have set boundaries, there are no pets. I know you love Scooby-Doo and Lady, for Lady and the Tramp. I know you love your pets, but we're not. This is going to be a pet-free holiday season. Don't bring no pets up in this house. We're not having it. Or maybe you have a certain place for the pets. The pets are going to be in this room, or they're going to be in the garage, or wherever they're going to be, and that's where they're going to stay. Don't bring them pets in the house, or don't let them pets come out of the room that we've established for them. Set your boundaries, and I should have added, and stick with them. Set your boundaries and stick with them. Don't let your family bulldoze over you. Set your boundaries and stick with it. And then as you're setting your boundaries, have the consequences for those who do not follow the boundaries that you have established. Y'all, this is real talk. Like this, child, this is real talk. If they do not follow the boundaries, have a set of consequences for them not following the boundaries that you have established. I know it's tight, y'all, but it's right. Make choices for yourself and your family that align with your value system. I know that there has been a lot of talk, especially in our economy and in this climate and everything that's going on in the United States. I say the United States of America. I say the United States of America. This is Stephanie Humphrey channel. Be Well Connection. I just keep it real. With everything that's happening with current administration here in America, people are rethinking how they're going to do Christmas and how they're going to do Thanksgiving. And they're thinking about, well, maybe I'm not going to spend as much money this year because, holidays are commercialized to get money anyway. That's what some people think. That if you think that way, that's fine. If you don't, that's okay too. Just sharing the conversations that I've been having with people. And so, buying these presents really don't align with my value system, because Thanksgiving, I don't necessarily celebrate Thanksgiving. Potentially, I focus on Indigenous Peoples Day, because this is a time that we celebrate Native and Indigenous peoples during this particular holiday. That more aligns with my value system. So I'm not spending any money for Thanksgiving. I'm going to use it as a day to celebrate Indigenous people, to celebrate Native people. We're going to have a service or a ceremony, or maybe um, a gathering, or whatever the case may be, for this Thanksgiving. That's what we're going to do. For Christmas time, maybe spending money on presents does not align with your value system. I understand that we traditionally give we give presents traditionally during the Christmas holiday in honor of Jesus' birthday, to celebrate and honor the gifts that the Magi brought to celebrate Jesus' birth, the gifts of frankincense, myrrh, and gold. And so we celebrate Jesus' birthday by giving gifts to each other. And maybe you don't want to do that this year. Maybe you want to volunteer, as it's further down the list. Maybe volunteering for the holiday to pass out Thanksgiving meals or pass out meals for Christmas. Maybe that aligns more with your value system. And that's what you're deciding to do with your time and your resources for this year. That is okay. Tell your children, we're volunteering this year. The money that we would spend on your presents, we're going to donate it to a shelter. We're going to donate it to buy toiletries for toiletries for the homeless shelter, or for another organization that supports people during the holidays. Or we're going to pick a family in our community that maybe they can't buy a meal for the holidays, and we're going to support them. Or maybe they're not able to give gifts to their children, and we're going to spend our money to support them, to help somebody else. So choose whatever aligns with your value system as you're navigating the holidays. Practice acceptance. Just accept if you are the mommy and the daddy and you want your children to come home for the holidays and they say no, respect and accept their choice. You might not like it, but respect, and accept their choice for not coming home for the holidays. Accept it. Just accept it. Call them. Maybe y'all can call each other, video chat with each other, holiday over the videos like we did during the pandemic. Maybe there's another way that you can still see them during the holidays. But if they decide not to come home, just practice acceptance. Just accept it. Let your feelings be hurt and accept the choice that they have made for themselves and for their family. Um, uh, for children, if y'all are listening, teenagers, young people, if y'all are listening, if your parents, your legal guardians say, no, we're not getting everything on it. You got 15 things on this list. You might get two, you might get one, you might get none. Just accept it. Children, I know it's hard to accept no, but no is a complete sentence. And sometimes we need to tell our children no more often than we do. So no, children, just accept it. If you don't get everything on your Christmas list this year, accept it. It is okay. You may not get what you want, but you got what you need. Roof over your head, lights are on, running water, food in the pantry and the refrigerator and the freezer. Your mom, your dad, your uncle, your aunt, your grandparents, whoever raising you, get you the snacks that you want. Accept that you can't have everything during the holiday season. And maybe some of us adults need to accept that too. Maybe your spouse can't get you that new diamond solitaire that you want. I'm just saying. Practice acceptance, okay? Whatever comes within your family unit, just accept it, okay? If it's something that you need to talk about as a family, like a situation or an issue, a concern comes up, talk about it as a family and accept what needs to happen in that particular situation. Okay. So just practice acceptance during the holidays. Accept that you may not have the money to spend on your children. If you just accept it, figure out a different way that you can celebrate that aligns with your value system and move forward. It is not the end of the world. It might seem like the end of the world if you can't get everything that you want or do everything that you want to do during the holidays, but it's not. You will live, and you will be okay. And your family will be okay as well. Another favorite of mine, make a holiday budget and stick with it. Let me say it again. Make a holiday budget and stick with it. If you only budgeted $50 for the holidays, do not spend $50.01. If you budgeted 500 for the holidays, do not spend 501 cents. If you budget $1,000 for the holidays, do not spend 1,001 cents. I know you say that 1 cent don't matter. It does. Those pennies matter. I'm telling you, the pennies matter. Make your holiday budget and stick with it. If you tell your children or your spouse or your other loved ones that you buy presents for, nieces and nephews, whoever, give me your Christmas list. Now you can give me your list if you want to, but you only get $100 for you because I got about for 10 people. So that's my $1,000 right there. Everybody gets $100. That's all we doing. If your list is over $100, I'm gonna work within my budget concerning your list and we're gonna keep it moving. If you don't like it, and if you're of age, there are plenty of companies that are hiring. Go ahead and get the work and get the things that you want. Hallelujah. Make your but if you have a food budget, stick with your food budget. Do not stray. Do not deter to the right or to stick with your budget. Make a budget and stick with it. Don't let your kids sad face and puffy lips. Y'all know how they do quiver their lips. Don't let that deter you. Make your budget and stick with it. If your spouse be like, I got to give my husband or my wife some loving so I can get what I want on my Christmas gift, on my Christmas wish list, don't do it. Make your budget and stick with it. Do not let outside influences deter your holiday budget. Okay, you straying from your holiday budget. Stick with it. All right. Have if you got to set some boundaries, you have to say no. It's okay. No is a complete sentence. No, no, honey, I can't get that for you. No, son, no, daughter. We are not this year. You can't get that. Maybe for your birthday, maybe later on, but this holiday season, no. And um, don't let their tears I don't because the children will try. I know. Don't let their tears or their quivering lip and them stomping off and getting mad and slamming doors. Don't let that deter you. Matter of fact, your door might come off the hinge if you slam it in my house, but that's a different conversation. Make your holiday budget and stick with it. Okay. Prioritize what is important to you and your family. What I found is in talking to different families, like sometimes they'll go to like their one spouse's family during Thanksgiving, the other spouse's family during Christmas. So if that's how you, and then they switch off the next year. And so if that works for you, then do that. If it is a case where you don't want to go home for the holidays and you just want you and your family unit to celebrate, that's good. You want to just pray with each other or love on each other, just bond and connect during the holidays, then do that. Whatever is important to you and your family, stick with it. Don't let those outside influences of your parents' voices or your grandparents' voices be like, I really want you to come home. I really miss you. I haven't seen you in 10 years, even though it's really been 10 months, you know. I just want you to come prioritize what is important to you and your family unit. And I think you all understand when I say your family unit. You have your bigger family, like I have the Humphrey family. That is our overarching family name and structure, but there are different family units within the Humphrey family. So whatever is important for your family unit, prioritize that and stick with it. And don't let anybody make you feel bad for doing what you feel is best for you and what you feel is best for you and your family. Okay. Don't let anybody make you feel bad or ashamed about what you have decided for you and your family during the holidays. Do what is best and right and well for you. Again, honor the way you want to celebrate. If you don't want to have if you do celebrate Thanksgiving and you don't want to have the traditional Thanksgiving meal, maybe y'all want to have Chinese food, or maybe you all want to have some salmon and some coleslaw and some French fries. Honor the way that you want to celebrate. Maybe you do want to volunteer, during the holidays. Maybe you just want to I don't even know if restaurants are open. I think I know there are certain restaurants that are open. Maybe you want to go out to the restaurant and celebrate. I've done that before for Thanksgiving. Just honor whatever way you want to celebrate. Don't let the traditional ways of celebrating hinder you from making new traditions or new ways of celebrating. So honor the way you want to celebrate. It's okay. It's up to you. You don't want to go home with your family this year, but maybe you want to have your friends giving. Hang out with your friends and y'all have y'all a party. Have y'all a good time celebrating all that you are thankful for. Okay. All right. So honor the way that you want to practice gratitude. Child, tell them kids, tell them children that so getting back to the budget, because I forgot to add this and it kind of goes into practicing gratitude. If you have children or nieces and nephews, whoever you are asking to make a Christmas list or a wish list, as they're making that list, tell them to also make a list of their wants and their needs. Their wants and their needs. Their wants and their needs. The needs are the things that we need: shelter, clothing, food and water, love and affection. Those are things that we need. The things that we want is, if we do have shelter, maybe we want a second shelter. That's something that we want, not necessarily that we need. Maybe we want another car, something that we want, not anything that we need. We want some new jewelry, nothing that you want, but nothing that you need, but something that you want. New clothes, new shoes, even though you have 3 closets full of shoes and clothes, but you still want some more. Have your children, have your spouse, whoever you're buying for, to make a list of wants and needs, and have a discussion about that as it relates to their Christmas list, okay? And let them know that, look, there are people in the world who are unhoused. They don't have a home to live in. They live in the street. Oftentimes during the winter months, they live in shelters. Maybe they're living with another family member or a friend. You actually have a roof over your head that's us, that's ours. It belongs to us. It is ours. Let's be thankful that we have a home to celebrate the holidays in. There are children and families who do not have enough food to eat. They do not have enough healthy foods to eat. They're just making it by with food. They might just be eating oatmeal for breakfast, maybe some noodles and hot dogs for lunch and for dinner, maybe a bologna sandwich. That's all that their family can afford. Let's be thankful that we have this big spread of 25 items to choose from for the holidays. Let's be thankful. So you may not get what you want this Christmas or this holiday season, but let's be thankful for what we have because there are so many in the world who don't have it. You might have to have that conversation with your children. I remember a family member having to have that conversation with their children. Like you don't know how blessed you are to have the things that you have because there are some children that don't have what you have because their families just can't afford it. So let's practice gratitude during the holiday season. One way we can practice gratitude is by volunteering. I've already mentioned it before. Maybe you want to go to a nearby homeless shelter or a rescue mission and help serve Thanksgiving meals or help serve Christmas meals. Maybe you want to go to organizations that are hosting the Christmas cheer and other programs that give families food and gifts during the holiday season. Maybe you want to go and volunteer and let that be how you and your family spend the holidays, helping somebody else, supporting somebody else, serving somebody else. That is an awesome and amazing way to practice gratitude. It is so, and I feel like we should practice gratitude every single day of our lives. Every single day I wake up in the morning, I say thank you. I tell God, thank you. I am so thankful that I am able to wake up each and every morning because some people don't wake up. I might have a little pain here, might have a little ache here, but I am alive to feel the ache and the pain. So thank you. Everything that we do, every day that we live, we should practice gratitude. And definitely during the holidays when so many people are in lack and if we have an abundance or we are comfortable with what we have, we should be thankful. Another way to manage stress is to practice mindfulness. And that is our focus for this evening, to practice mindfulness. That being said, we are going to enter into, I'm going to give you some information and then we'll do our next mindfulness practice. So mindfulness, did I tell y'all what the slide says? What is mindfulness? What are the benefits? So mindfulness is to be fully present, aware, and accepting of your mood, feelings, and thoughts at any given moment. It is really an awareness of your internal state, how you are feeling, what is your attitude, your thoughts in any given moment, to be aware really of who you are is a practice of mindfulness. Y'all, I know exactly who I am. I'm very aware and accepting of who I am. And I recognize if I'm starting to feel a little anxious or nervous, it's time for me to go, especially if I'm at work, it's time for me to go slip off, which don't happen very often, y'all, not at all, because I'm pretty good. Pretty good as far as, work is concerned. But sometimes there are situations where I'm feeling anxious or nervous. I know it's time for me to slip off to the bathroom, practice some mindfulness, pray so I can get myself together and come back and just be fully myself in that present moment. Okay. We probably know the things that trigger us, the things that make us happy, the things that make us sad, the things that excite us, the things that anger us. Like if you want to anger me, talk about some social injustices and I'm ready to go. Let me just tell you, I'll be fired up and ready to go. Let me just tell you, I know that about me. Don't let me hear about a child being mistreated or the elderly being mistreated. Oh, I'm about to get fired up. I know that about me. So if I can feel that when I'm listening to stories, talking to people, engaging with the community, I know that is I'm very aware of, that is a part of who I am. And so I know that if I'm about to engage in a conversation about some injustices, let me just settle myself because I know my emotions can go from 0 to 1,000 in 0.002 seconds. Okay. I'm very aware and present of who I'm very aware and accepting of who I am. Okay. And so we need to know who we are. Just know you. A lot of times, especially as adults, y'all, we have lived a life not getting to know ourselves. We talk about getting to know people, spending time with this new person that you want to engage in a relationship with. You spend time with them, you go out, do different things, whatever y'all do, go to the park, movies or whatever, and you get to know them. But doggone it, we need to get to know ourselves. We need to get to know who we are so that we can be fully aware and accepting of who we are as a person. And then as we are navigating life, we are able to be fully present, aware, and accepting of how we are feeling as we're navigating different people and different situations throughout life. Okay, so that is what mindfulness is: present, aware, accepting. And one thing I want to highlight here is for us to be accepting without necessarily needing to change anything in that moment. It's really about awareness and being present and accepting. Don't really need to change anything in that moment, but just again, being present, being aware, and accepting. An aspect of mindfulness, also being aware of your surroundings, being aware of the people that you are engaging with, being aware if you're sitting down in a restaurant, being aware of what's going on around you, not out of fear, but just being aware, just being present where you are, being accepting about how people are feeling. Like you might be with a group of friends, y'all are at a restaurant, maybe you're having a heavy conversation, and it is important as you're having that conversation to be aware of how everybody is feeling and accept everybody's feelings. If they're angry, if they're frustrated, if they're upset, just accept that. Don't try to change them. Don't try to change the situation. Just accept how they are feeling in that very given moment. Okay. Then you all can talk about navigating through the anger and the frustrations and different things later, but just accept your surroundings. If you are a spouse and you and your spouse, y'all are having a heavy conversation, just be aware of body language, not just the words that are coming out of somebody's mouth, but their body language, if their mood switches, just being aware. Child, mindfulness practices can save you some time and energy and frustrations and different things. I'm telling you, okay? So just being mindful and aware. There is a thing such as mindfulness meditation, and mindfulness meditation is an intentional focus on a specific thought or idea. For example, if you're practicing positive affirmations, you would, settle yourself in, you would speak the positive affirmation or affirmations that you want to speak over yourself, and you just sit there and meditate on those positive affirmations and let those words soak into your heart and your spirit and your soul and just build you up and strengthen you and transform you. Okay. So that's an example of a mindfulness meditation, like practicing positive affirmations for yourself. And then just again, saying them over and over again and just sitting there and allow those words to soak into your spirit. Okay. Regular meditation cultivates mindfulness in such a way that it becomes a part of your wellness routine. And I am a witness that regular meditation, it will become a part of your wellness routine because I'm quick to just take a few deep breaths and just settle myself and just think, Stephanie, you got this. Stephanie, you can do this. Stephanie, you are enough. Stephanie, you are well able. Stephanie, you are innovative. You are creative. You are unique. You are powerful. You can do this. Let me tell you, I am quick to encourage myself. Come on, somebody. That is the power of mindfulness meditation. You all know this is coming to my mind, so I'm going to share it with you. It's not in my notes, but I'm going to share it with you. One way that you can practice, just speaking about the positive affirmations. So I want to share this with y'all. Yes, I do. One way that you can practice positive affirmations and as a part of your meditation practices is taking your name and assigning, it's an acrostic, taking your first name or your whole name if you want to, but I usually just take my first name and assign a word to each letter in your name that speaks to who you are. I do this practice with my other nonprofit nonprofit aunties. I do that with the young ladies that we serve, and they have a blast with it. It's so much fun. One young lady was like, I didn't know I could turn my name into a positive affirmation. Yes, you can do that. And you can use that positive affirmation of turning your name into an affirmation. You can actually use that as a meditation. Y'all need an example? Okay, let me see if I can remember mine. So my name is Stephanie. I am sassy, tenacious, energetic, powerful, honest. What's my A? Amazing, right? No nonsense, intelligent, and ever ready. Let me tell you, ever ready. Okay, that is who I am, and I love. Like I'm. Somebody asked me one time, like, why does that say? Because let me just tell you who I am. You can turn your name into a positive affirmation and let that be your mindfulness meditation because it helps you to get to know who you are, proclaim who you are, and walk and helps to support you in walking out who you are. Okay. So again, that's just one example of mindfulness meditation. You can actually take a scripture if you read the Bible, if you read the Quran or other religious books that guide you in your religious practices. You can take a verse out of that Bible, out of that Quran, out of that book, and just meditate on those words and let those words sink into your heart and your spirit. The Bible says, my holy Bible says, that we are to meditate on God, study God's word. We are also to meditate on God's word, allow God's word to sink within our spirit, sink within our soul. So whatever religion you practice and whatever book or guidance that you all have, you can turn that into a meditation practice to support your overall health and well-being. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So let's see. What are the benefits of mindfulness? It reduces rumination, it decreases stress and anxiety, helps you to focus and have mental clarity. It strengthens your empathy and compassion. Let me tell y'all something. I have a testimony about it strengthening empathy and compassion. Am I going to share it with y'all? Yes, I'll share it with you all. I used to be a person, this was some time ago. I was really mean spirited, just awful to people, just using harsh words and just a horrible, horrible attitude. But as I began to get to know myself and as I began to practice deep breathing at that time, and then got to learn about what mindfulness is, I learned to relax, to accept myself, to have empathy and compassion for me. And in turn, I am able to have empathy and compassion for other people. Like if you cry, I'm going to cry with you. Like I just have so much love and compassion and empathy for people, especially if they're going through different situations in life, especially if it's not of their own choosing. My heart is just, it just, is open and just vulnerable and just grieving sometimes for people who are going through different situations. That is all a benefit initially of the deep breathing. And then as I got to learn what mindfulness is, which deep breathing is a part of that, it really has increased my empathy and my compassion. Mindfulness also enhances our self-insight and intuition because again, it helps us to get to know ourselves and also be fully present and aware as we are engaging with other people. So self-insight and intuition increases awareness, emotional regulation. It helps us to have an internal calmness and stillness. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I got another testimony. I used to, and every now and then I still do, but I mean, all the time used to have what we call road rage. I just, oof, it was bad, y'all. Like, woo, it was bad. Now, when I'm on the road, I have so much peace, so much calmness, so much stillness. I know that the person about to cut me off, I already know it. And I'm just like, okay, we'll do it. Go and do what you need to do. As long as you don't hit the Corolla, it's okay. Just go and do what you need to do. Like, I have so much peace and calmness on the road. Whereas one time I was cutting everybody. Not like cutting them with my where I was fussing at everybody on the road, got my blood pressure up. Just, I mean, I can't control it anyway, but I'm elevating my blood pressure because I'm angry with people on the road, something I have no control over. But through the practice of mindfulness, y'all, let me tell y'all something. And when I say if you knew, if you knew, you would understand how powerful mindfulness has been in my life to just change my thought processes in my heart, as I'm driving up and down the road. And I do commute for work. And so there's that extra traffic that I have to navigate going back and forth to work. But mindfulness has truly helped me to just have an inner peace and an inner calmness and stillness. Now, I have it with Jesus. Don't get it twisted. I have it with Jesus, but mindfulness has helped to elevate and expand that inner peace and that internal calmness. Yes. Woo! I'm going to take a minute to celebrate myself. Woo! All right. It increases our energy. It helps strengthen resilience within us. And y'all, mindfulness just supports our overall health and well-being. It puts us in a healthy, for me, let me just speak for me. It puts me in such a good mood, a healthy mood, a mindful mood, a ready to go mood, like what y'all need, how can I help you mood. It just really has promoted me having a really just beautiful, helpful, amazing, happy mode. Okay. Not that I wasn't happy before, but child, I was just, yeah, I was rough. It was rough. I was rough, like sandpaper rough, let me tell y'all. But through my walk with Christ and then practicing mindfulness, it really has supported me having a healthy mood, a healthy attitude, and just an overall good well-being. So those are the benefits of mindfulness for me. And this, there is research to say this has supported other individuals as well. And speaking of research, I had to add my own research in here as it relates to mindfulness. So when I worked hard and received my Master's of Education in Mindfulness, Social Emotional Learning, and Yoga, I had to participate in what we call action research. I actually had to do research in order for me to get my degree. So what I did is I completed a research project teaching mindfulness practices once a month, not once a month, excuse me, once a week on Sundays at 6:30, which I still do now. Sundays at 6:30 p.m. to my faith-based community, to the faith community. And so we practice mindfulness once a week. My attendees or the participants, they did surveys. I actually incorporated additional mindfulness practices throughout the week. I gave them access to the yoga classes that I had taught previously. I also gave them additional resources like my podcast and other resources so that they could practice mindfulness on their own. And you all, based on my action research, these are the benefits that the participants received once a week, you all, practicing mindfulness once a week. And then, of course, having the additional resources. But my participants noticed these benefits: increased stress management, improved sleep quality, strengthened ability to navigate unfavorable situations in a healthy way. Everybody in all the free world deals with unfavorable situations, whether it's on your job, your family, wherever, in the grocery store. We all sometimes deal with some unfavorable situations, but it was proven that my participants they were strengthened in the ability to navigate those unfavorable situations in a healthy way. As not to cause harm to themselves or to other people. I'm excited. Y'all, this just fills my heart with so much joy. Okay. Increase self-awareness, managing stress. I'll put that twice. Improving their focus, healthy eating habits. Come on, somebody. Mindfulness helps support healthy eating habits with my participants. There is a thing called mindful eating, you all. There is an actual mindfulness practice, mindfulness eating. It is absolutely amazing, you all. I have actually participated in during my action research and outside of action research, have led people in mindful eating practices. It is absolutely amazing. My participants also receive an increase of their self-esteem and confidence. It improved their overall health and well-being. That should have been last, but it's okay. It helped to lower my own blood pressure. It helped to lower my blood pressure as well as those of my participants. And it just supported their holistic health, you all. And my action research is available on my website at bewellconnection.org, excuse me, bewellconnection.org. I might put it in the chat before we leave so you all can actually look and see everything that I did, the things that worked, because there were a few things I did that just didn't work. And so I stopped doing them and just went with what did work. And it has all think 22 pages of my action research that you can peruse for yourself. These are the benefits that participants receive as they practice mindfulness with me during my action research. I am so proud. Can y'all tell how proud I am that I was able to do this action research and that my participants did receive these wonderful, amazing benefits to support them to holistically thrive, because we holistically thrive at Be Well Connection. And they received these benefits again so that they could holistically thrive. So really proud, really excited. Let me move on because I can talk about it some more. So again, those are some benefits that you can experience if you practice mindfulness. In addition, and this is really for, well, I was about to say this is for young people, but this is really for seasoned people too, because some seasoned people are impulsive. But mindfulness can help us to avoid impulsive, destructive, automatic habits and behaviors by learning to observe our own thoughts, emotions, and other present moment experiences without judging or responding to them in a negative way. Y'all know people, and you might be this person, and if you are, there's absolutely no judgment, okay? One thing about mindfulness is being aware of who we are, being aware of and accepting of who we are. And then, of course, we try to, work on ways and strategies to help us be a healthier us. But again, just being present and accepting. But y'all know somebody that just has a bad attitude all the time. Every word that comes out of their mouth or every other word is negative. It's destructive. It's like venom spewing from a snake's mouth. That's just how deadly and harmful their words are. That is just how deadly or harmful their attitude or their overall disposition is. We know people like this. We know people who are impulsive, who will cuss folk out, harm people in various ways. We know people who just have destructive attitudes and habits and behaviors, and they're just a walking unhealthy person. We all know people like this. If you know somebody like this, let them know that you don't have to continue in this way. Like there is a way for you to be whole and healthy and happy. And mindfulness is just one aspect to help you be whole and healthy and happy. But for those individuals who are experiencing these negative behaviors, mindfulness can help you navigate those destructive behaviors in a healthy way and then help you to decrease and hopefully eliminate those unhealthy destructive behaviors in favor of more healthy ways to navigate life, to navigate stress, to navigate the inevitable trials and tribulations that come with just living here on the earth. Okay. Mindfulness can help support you being healthy and whole all the way around. So let's do a two-word check-in. I probably should have done a mindfulness in between that, but that's okay. We're about to participate in a two-word check-in. I just have just a few more slides, I believe. Think we should be done no later than 8:30 for sure. But you all, let's just do a two-word check-in. So I invite you to settle yourselves in, get comfortable wherever you are. If you feel safe and comfortable to do so, I invite you to close your eyes. If you don't feel safe and comfortable to do so, you just don't want to close your eyes, focus on an object in the room that brings you peace. Let's just take a few deep breaths as we settle into this moment. So deep breath in, exhale out. Deep breath in and exhale out. Take another deep breath in and exhale out. Now, if it's comfortable for you, I invite you to put one hand over your heart and the other hand on top of it. Or you can just keep your hands in your lap or wherever they are. But in these next few moments, I invite you to check in with yourself. I've given you a lot of information. I've given you a lot of things to think about and ponder. So, as you are absorbing the information, as you're navigating the information, just take a moment and check in with yourself. How are you feeling right now in this present moment? I want you to get those two words or think of two words that describe how you are feeling in this present moment. Get those words in your mind. And as you're settling into how you're feeling, I invite you to take a deep breath with me to seal this practice. So take a nice deep inhale in, 2, 3, 4, and exhale out, 2, 3, 4. Now, if your eyes are closed, you may gently open them. If you focus on an object in the room, you may gently refocus back into this space. How are you all feeling? If you feel comfortable to do so, you may add your two words into the chat, or you may just keep those two words to yourself. Right now, I am feeling happy and I'm feeling proud. Ooh, talking about my research makes me feel so proud, and I'm just happy to be sharing this information with you. So that's how I'm feeling at present moment. All right. So, as we navigate on mindfulness, why families should incorporate mindfulness practices during the holidays. Well, I've already given you some good reasons. We're going to talk about a few more reasons. Number one, to decrease stress. Child, I'm telling y'all, mindfulness practices will help you decrease the stress in your life. I am a witness. My blood pressure has gone down as a result of me practicing mindfulness, being able to release negativity and release unhealthy, because there are some unhealthy stresses, but to release those stresses that don't serve me, those feelings, those moods and attitudes that don't serve me, being able to release them through mindfulness has been so powerful and so amazing in my life. Other ways to promote or to decrease stress, incorporating mindfulness to decrease stress during the holidays. It's just, it promotes awareness and self acceptance. Again, once you know who you are, you know the good, the bad, and the ugly of who you are, it will help you to accept yourself. And in accepting yourself, you can easily accept others. I have this story about being clumsy, but I'm not going to share because I've shared it so many times. But I used to not like the fact that I'm clumsy. I am clumsy. I just am. And I used to not like that about me. But once I accepted that about me, that it made me being clumsy more manageable. And I actually laugh at myself when I'm clumsy because it's just like a part of who I am, just as much as me being creative and innovative is a part of who I am. Being clumsy is a part of who I am. And I have learned to accept and embrace all of who I am. And again, in turn, it has allowed me to accept others. If people are angry or upset with something I've said or something that I've done, and I didn't mean any harm, I just help set it to help them or support them. I just have to accept that that's how they're feeling in this moment. If somebody is feeling sad or scared or anxious, then I just need to accept that. Not trying to change them, not judging them, but just accepting that that's how they're feeling in this moment. If your spouse or your loved one, your children are feeling angry because you can't get everything on their wish list, then accept that you're feeling angry. I accept that that is how you're feeling. Now, if you're a child, like you better still be respectful in your anger. Let me just tell you that. But I accept the fact that you're angry. It is anger is an emotion that we all experience, and that is okay. Just be respectful. And after we accept it, then we can take a few minutes, excuse me, a little bit later to navigate through your anger. But I accept it. I accept you just as you are. I'm not trying to change you. I'm not judging you. I'm just accepting you for exactly who you are. When we practice mindfulness, it helps us to be vulnerable because as you are aware of yourself and as you're present with your family, it opens you up to be vulnerable and open and willing to share and discuss hard situations or discuss that family conflict that's been going on for way too long. If you practice mindfulness as a family, it will help at least open the door for you to discuss conflict or any other situations or issues that may arise during the holidays. It helps everybody to just be open, present, and vulnerable so that hopefully we can navigate life as a family in a healthy way, talking about our issues, talking about our disagreements, talking about our concerns in healthy ways and not harmful or destructive ways. Promoting or practicing mindfulness promotes connection. Ooh, let me tell you something. When you start practicing mindfulness, practicing that awareness of self, and it helps you become aware of other people or how they're feeling or what they might be going through in that present moment, it will help you to connect with them on a deeper level, not just that surface level, but it helps you to connect with your family on a deeper level. Like you begin to open up about some things that maybe have happened in the past that has caused the family conflict. It might help you to be open up about a situation that happened in the family that nobody wants to talk about because it's too painful. Well, maybe mindfulness is a way for you to talk about that painful situation so that we can all be healed, delivered, and we can connect with each other in a deeper way. Okay. So mindfulness brings about connection, community. Okay. That's what mindfulness does. Honest communication. This really speaks to the talking about those past issues or those situations that have happened in families that nobody wants to talk about, nobody wants to discuss, but it has caused harm in the family and it needs to be discussed. The scab needs to be ripped off so again we can heal and be made whole. Honest communication without fear of retribution. I'm going to talk about what happened in the family, especially if it's something that hurt me. Oh, we about to talk about this. We're going to get some resolution roundabout right now. Let me just tell you. But it also allows us, like we going back to the example with our children, if we can't get everything on their Christmas list, practicing mindfulness helps them to communicate with you without fear of you retaliating against them. And yes, there are parents, legal guardians who retaliate against their children when they're being honest about who they are or honest about what they're going through. They can sometimes receive retaliation from that. But if you practice mindfulness as a family, it promotes you and your children being honest with yourself and each other without fear of you retaliating against them or seeking revenge against them or seeking retribution. It just allows again for that connectedness, that vulnerability, that openness. Practicing mindfulness as a family brings families together. There is research out there about it. I didn't write down the research is actually in another presentation that I do, so I'm sorry that I didn't add it here. But there is research to say how mindfulness practices has helped bring family connection together. Okay. There's also a research about how it has promoted fathers with middle school students, fathers and their children coming together in a more healthy way when they practice mindfulness together. Y'all, I'm telling this thing is real. It is real. It also again promotes empathy within the family. It helps us to seek forgiveness and then being able to forgive each other. And it also helps us to give each other grace. Just give yourself grace, give your family member grace. We are all at different levels in our lives. Give yourself and your family member grace. If they are struggling through a situation that you know that they know better than to be in, love on them, give them some grace, and then give them some support and resources and help them navigate through it. Okay. But first, just accept who they are, accept where they are, give them some grace. Okay. And all the time, practicing gratitude will help us to be connected and build community as a family. Okay. So these are some ways that practicing mindfulness can help support you and your family during the holidays to decrease stress. Again, in addition to the other things that I've already shared with us. I think we have a practice of gratitude. Woo! All right, y'all. It's 8:21. I promise I'm going to be done at 8:30. So let's just do it. We'll do a quick practice of gratitude. So I invite you to settle yourselves in. Find yourself in a comfortable position, seated, lying down, standing. I invite you to connect with your breath. As you settle into this moment, I invite you to think about one person in your life that you are grateful for. One person that you are so thankful that they are a part of your life. Get that person in your mind. See that person in your mind. Think about the reasons why you are so grateful for them. And right where you are, call out their name and say, I am thankful for you. They might can't hear you, but just decree and declare, I am thankful, and say that person's name. And you can even say why you are thankful for them. I am thankful for my spouse because he always makes sure there's gas in my car for the week. I am so thankful for that. So just take a moment to confess out of your mouth why you are thankful for that person. And now I want you to think of one thing that you are thankful for. Maybe you're thankful for your home or the car that you drive that gets you to work each and every day or to the grocery store, whatever else you need to do. Maybe you're thankful for the comfortable shoes that you're able to wear every single day because you work on your feet. You know, name just one thing. Maybe you're thankful for food in the refrigerator, in the freezer, in the pantry. Think about one thing in your life that you are thankful for and settle that in your mind and just confess out of your mouth, I am thankful for shelter, or I am thankful for my job. I am thankful for my car, whatever it is. Name that one thing or those several things that you are thankful for in this moment. And now I invite you to take a deep breath with me as we seal this practice of gratitude. So I invite you to take a deep inhale of gratitude in, 2, 3, 4, and exhale gratitude out into your space. 2, 3, 4. If your eyes are closed or your gaze is softened, you may gently refocus back into this space. Awesome. I hope that was a blessing to you. Okay, so you all, last thing I want to share with you, engaging your family in mindfulness practices, especially the mindfulness practices that we've just participated in, engaging your family in mindfulness practices during the holidays will promote and enhance family connectedness. It will strengthen relationships, promote empathy, reduce stress, and increase the overall health and well-being of each family member. When y'all are getting together, maybe before you eat that meal, say, family, let's just take a moment to breathe together. Family, let's just take a moment to practice gratitude. And as you're meditating and thinking about gratitude, and everybody is, considering what or who they are thankful for, go around the table, go around the space and say, I am thankful for this person, or I am thankful for that. Just practice gratitude during this holiday season. Do a 2-word check-in with your family, especially if after y'all done ate your meal and you see that your uncle loosening up his belt. Do a 2-word check-in, how everybody is feeling. Y'all feeling full and bellies full, that's okay. We accept that. We accept the full bellies. So you can do it over two, excuse me, y'all. You can do a 2-word, I forgot to bring my water over. You can do a 2-word check-in or do a weather report with your family. Any of these practices you can incorporate within your family. Structure your family celebration during the holidays to promote these benefits. We want to be as stress-free as possible this holiday season, right? So if you all want to stick with me just a few minutes, these are the practices that we participated in: 3 collective breaths, weather report, 2-word check-in, and attitude of gratitude. I am going to quickly, I got 3 minutes to do it. I might hold you over, but if you want to stick with me, stick with me. I'm going to show you, I think, 3 more practices. I'm going to do them very, very quickly. And then I will truly let you go, you all. I will truly let you go. So the first practice that we will engage in are sun salutations. This is one of the simplest mindfulness practices that you can do, and it allows you to incorporate some movement in. Okay, so I'm gonna back up just a little bit. Hopefully, you all can see me. So you can incorporate this into your 3 collective breaths. So what you'll do is you'll invite your family to get comfortable, seated, standing. You don't want to do this lying down. So either seated or standing. You can invite them to take 3 collective breaths with you. So let me slow down and calm down so I can articulate this in a way that you understand it. So you can invite your family to take a deep inhale in as they extend your arms up and over your head. Exhale out as your palms come together and bring your hands to heart center. Let's do that again. Take a deep inhale in as you extend your arms up and over your head. Exhale out as you bring your palms together right at heart center. And you can do that as many times as you want to do it to let your family breathe together, get some movement in your body. Maybe after you've had that Thanksgiving meal or that Christmas meal or that Hanukkah or Kwanzaa meal or your Los Pasados meal, you can incorporate that movement into the mindfulness practice, or actually into the 3 collective breaths as a mindfulness practice. And again, you can do 5 breaths if you want to do that. That's okay. All right, our next one is flower breathing. I absolutely love flower breathing. You can do this with children. Young people really love this particular practice, but you can do it as an adult as well. So again, you would invite them to find themselves in a comfortable seated or standing position, and you can invite them. So let me do this with you. as you would do it with your family. So I invite you to bring your hands together, palms facing each other. And now I invite you to gently release your fingers, touching pinkies together and touching thumbs together, making a flower with your hand. I invite you to observe your flower. What kind of flower do you have? Is it a daffodil? Is it a sunflower? Is it a rose? Notice the color of your flower. You might even notice the smell of your flower, especially if it's a rose. Now you might see a butterfly or a bee buzzing or fluttering around your flower. That's okay. There is purpose in that. Now I invite you to take a few collective breaths with me as we raise our flower to the sun. So take a deep inhale in as you're extending your flower up to the sun, and exhale out as you're bringing your flower back down to heart center. Now I invite you to take another deep inhale in as you're raising your flower up to the sun, and take a deep inhale out as you're bringing your flower back down to heart center. And you can do that as many times as you want to. And then as you close the practice, you may ask your family, now we're going to say goodbye to our flower. So we'll gently close our flower and we'll put our flower away. So that's flower breathing. Okay. If I was doing this as a practice, I would extend the practice a little bit more, but at least you get an idea of how flower breathing is. Again, this is really popular with young people. If you do flower breathing with young people, my recommendation to you is to not have them to hold their breath so long, because young people are not able to hold their breath as long as adults, and it's not really healthy for them to hold their breath for an extended amount of time. So maybe you just want to lift your flower up just a little bit of ways as you inhale, and then gently bring it down as you exhale. Okay, so that's just a recommendation, just to make sure that they stay healthy as they are practicing mindfulness. Okay. Last practice is a body scan. This is a very difficult practice to do in just a few minutes. So I'm actually just going to walk you through it without going through I'm going to go through the entire practice, but instead of practicing it with you, I'm just going to give you how you would engage in a body scan. And then I'll give you all access to actually completing a body scan. You can do it within about a 10 or 15-minute time frame, but this might be something good to do after the family has eaten and everybody is relaxed, just to kind of check in to see how everybody is feeling. If you have a difficult conversation during the holidays, this is a good practice to do after that, or even to do it before you have your dinner. You can do it then. It's a good time to just kind of check in with your body and see how you're feeling. So to conduct a body scan, you would ask them to get in a comfortable position. I think seated is the best way to do the body scan. Then you would ask your family to close their eyes, or if they feel safe to do so, focus on an object in the room, however you want to do that. And you would invite them to feel, or not to feel, but to notice any sensations that they are feeling in their body. And the body scan, it starts with the head, and then you name different body parts. Like, I invite you to feel how your shoulders are feeling. Notice any sensations or any tensions you might be feeling in your shoulders. No need to change anything, just noticing how you feel. Now I invite you to move down to your arms, to your hands, to your fingers, and notice how your arms are feeling. Notice how your wrists are feeling, your hand is feeling, your fingers are feeling. Then you just move on down to your feet. And then if you want, you can start from your feet and move on back up. So that's a body scan in a quick with a quick practice or a quick introduction to a body scan. And again, I will share the podcast for a body scan so that you can practice it yourself and then you can practice it with your family. So it's just a good way to just check in with your body, look from the rooter to the tutor, from your head to your feet, and from your feet to your head. Just a good way to check in to see how you're feeling, noticing any sensations or any stress or tension you might be feeling in your body. Okay. Awesome. Questions. Do you all have any questions? I don't see any questions in the chat. If you have a question, Kayanda, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thank you so much for chatting with me. I really appreciate your feedback. If you have any questions about anything that I've shared with you on tonight or additional questions, please add them to the chat now. Or if you're listening to the rebroadcast, you can always add them to the comment section. I do check the comment section. I will come back and get your question answered, okay? I'll give you all a few seconds if you happen to be typing. And as you're doing that, I'm going to put my Be Well Connection website in the chat so that you can have that. I do not have a page for my participants. They actually have a password protected page that they engage in. And so I'm going to have to release some of that information to you. Courses. I'm not going to be able to do it tonight. I sincerely apologize. I don't have that ready for you tonight, but if you check back on Sunday, I will have all of the information that you need in order to incorporate these practices within your family, okay? So I'm going to add the website here so that you have this information. You will find it on bewellconnection.com, but one resource that you have right away is our Well News. I do a weekly, not a weekly, excuse me, a monthly newsletter. And so I am going to put the link for the newsletter. It has some practices in here. I'm actually going to update this page very, very soon, but it has information about a wealth of information about different national holidays as well as mindful practices, again, that you can incorporate within your family structure to reduce stress. You all, I'm also going to add the Be Well Connection Mindfulness podcast so that you can go ahead and tap into some of the practices that I have incorporated in, or actually that I've led with my weekly mindfulness class. You all are welcome to join the weekly mindfulness class. We have mindfulness, or I lead mindfulness practices on Sunday evenings at 6:30 p.m. It's no more than a 15-minute practice just to settle ourselves, settle our minds. Sometimes we do intention setting. We do a variety of practices. I'm going to put that link in the chat as well. You will have to complete the liability waiver in order to receive the information to join the class. So weekly mindfulness classes are virtual. And so any and everybody, wherever that space is. So I'm going to put that link in the chat as well. So you all can go ahead and grab those links. The main one to remember is bewellconnection.org. All of the information is there. And again, I will add additional information just for you, participants of tonight's Well Education session. I will add that just for you. I really wish I would have done a survey. I actually considered doing a survey to see how this Well Education class landed for you. It is the very first one that Be Well Connection has hosted, and we are hoping to host regular. I don't know if I'm going to do it monthly or not, but regular Well Education classes for 2026. So stay tuned. I don't see any questions. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for joining the Mindful Holiday Well Education class. I hope it was insightful. I hope it was helpful. And I hope it's something that you feel is doable, attainable for your family. So thank you. Thank you. Oh, there's a Be Well Connection website website, even though I just added it. But thank you, thank you, thank you for joining. I invite you to like this episode. I invite you to share this information with your family, with your friends, your coworkers, with everybody. Let them know that Be Well Connection is here to serve the community. So thank you. And I invite you to, again, join our mindfulness classes. I also host chair yoga classes on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. That information is on the website. Feel free to fill out the liability waiver so you can get the information and join us there, okay? Thank you all again, and I encourage you to be well. You all take care and have a wonderful, blessed, safe, happy, amazing holiday season. Take care.